Yo, welcome back. What were we on? Episode 6?
Yeah.
Episode 6 of the Lifecall Podcast. Got a little break going on since we had Skinner on last time, but today we got a couple of the local homies on. We got Bryan Worcester. Tell us a little
What's
about
up? I'm Bryan. I like drifting and mountain bikes and bicycles and stuff.
And we got
TV's off.
we got Andy.
What's up? Andy Lemery, photographer, fun enthusiast, just about everything under the sun.
Media hype man.
Yeah, definitely media hype man.
We gotta hype up the boys. That's what we're all here for.
That's definitely like fucking A1 like job that you do.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate that.
And then you got me and Justin, co-host. We're here to rock about the homies' trip to Midpond down in Alabama on the drift trip.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So
20 hours.
20 hour drive?
Yeah, about that.
What time do you guys leave and shit like that?
4:30, right? We
all
met
started-
4:30.
Me and Andy went to work Tuesday and got out of work and just started driving.
You know what you have to do? You have to turn your freaking auto lock off.
Yeah, gotta keep going.
Yeah.
to get the
It's too
pics.
much work.
All right. While you do that,
Yeah.
we'll ask Andy some questions.
All
So,
right.
first of all, how did you get roped into it? Or were you like willing to go?
Yeah. I mean, initially when the trip came up, Brandon had asked me about it. And after that, Brian texted me and he was like, "You want to come drive down there with me?" And I was like, "Yep, absolutely."
Yeah.
Haven't really missed a night call trip aside from Wisconsin. I think I was there for just about everything.
Because you went
else.
to the
SSE.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you went to all the
Poconos.
what's the other one? It's in Ohio or something.
Ohio.
Why can't I think it
Here you go.
they don't do it anymore.
Oh, fucking
We did it like twice at the race car track.
the one that the
Vibes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's in
That's not
Pennsylvania.
Ohio. That's
It's
way off.
right near Ohio though.
isn't it? I thought it was Ohio.
That's
It's Lake
in
Erie Speedway,
Lake
right?
Erie,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
but it's also really close to Niagara Falls. It's
All
like
that,
an
dude.
hour away from Niagara
Yeah,
Falls.
Lake Erie.
I've driven through that part of the
Yeah.
country 1,000,001 times, and I'm still confused every time I go through there and like what's near me and everything like that.
It's definitely not like Kansas. Stay the fuck out of Kansas.
I've never been, and I don't think I have a reason to
It's
go to
not good,
Kansas
dude.
anytime.
Is that
It's not
this because
good.
you drove through? Is
Yeah,
it?
I drove through so many times because I've driven cross country 4 times.
Yeah.
And like you either have to go through the upper flat part of the country, the middle flat part of the country, or the lower flat part of the
Mm.
country. And it's never a good time.
Mm.
Kansas is terrible. Summer, winter, fall, doesn't matter. 20-mile-an-hour winds, -20 degrees when you're standing there pumping gas.
No, like the Midwest is like a different kind of beast when it comes to like road tripping.
You can feel the wind from Canada.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
like I went cross country growing up twice, like in a camper, and the most miserable days were always like Indianapolis, like always like the plains, like
Yeah.
the
The
Dakotas,
Great Plains, baby.
like you're just corn as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
And like if something goes wrong, like those exits, it's not like out here where it's like an exit every 5-10 minutes. You might have like an exit every like 35, 45, if not more miles.
Yep.
And you're just like out there.
Well, and when you're out there, there's like these massive concrete buildings that are for oil storage or whatever, but it just looks like a penitentiary with no windows. You're like,
Yeah.
what is that?
It kind of gives you like you kind of get like the vibe of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that out
Everywhere.
there and everything like that. So, but how was the drive down to Alabama?
Smooth. Brian was a beast. Brian
Yeah, so
took the brunt
we
on that
left
one.
after work.
You drive the whole way? You guys
Pretty
switch
much.
off?
drove,
Pretty
like,
much drove the whole way. I drove for like 3
14
hours.
This was like a month after you had just driven
Yeah.
18 hours to
So-
Arkansas.
We just went to Arkansas for
The
a
same
mountain
route.
bike trip, and then drove the same route, past the same stuff.
Nuh-uh.
Even that little pump track off the side that we
No
stopped at.
way.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
yep.
I
Same
love
highway.
that. I
Wow.
love
We
that.
passed, we
Yeah.
passed that
That's so
moto
cool.
track, and then I was like, this looks so familiar. And then we passed the Cracker Barrel, and then I was like, oh, we're here.
I did this a month.
Passed the little pump track that was all muddy, and I was like, oh,
Right, because we saw that stuff right before we got to Knoxville. So,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's
we
super
went
funny.
through Knoxville.
Giant crosses, Cracker Barrels, and pump tracks.
You know what's funny is like that's kind of what the drive out to Wisconsin was like for most of it too. Is it the same motocross track you pass? No, a
No.
different one.
That's like way north.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
We went to the south. But yeah, I drove 14 hours, and then I wasn't really tired, but I just was like, Andy, you want to drive for a little?
Yeah, took
So
over to
I was just
Coral
feeling
Works.
generous, I guess.
He
Yeah.
drove for like another
3 hours. That's
2-3 hours.
Because that was when we stopped, and then we went to Coral Works.
Yeah, we stopped at Cookout Works, get some bits for the engine bay.
How's Core Works?
Sick.
It was sick. The guys there were wicked cool.
Yeah.
They hooked us all up.
A lot of good
Supposedly,
cars.
we're gonna have a discount code soon.
Sick.
Nice.
Hey,
Yep.
well,
Night
keep
call
on-
20 or something like that.
Cookout homies.
Cookout
It was all of us.
Yeah.
We all bought like $300 worth of stuff.
Yeah, and there was a lot of you guys too.
Yeah,
so that was
so-
definitely like probably a pretty cool day for them too.
Well, and
Because
they said that they went to set up for Grid Life,
Yeah, it was
right?
weird,
And they
like-
like didn't get their tent set up, so they didn't end up getting sales that day for what they were expecting. So
Oh,
then
okay.
they came in and made up the difference. For them not
Oh,
getting
that's
set up.
super
Seriously.
cool. That's awesome how it works
Yeah.
out that way then.
Yeah, they were super grateful, super good dudes, really welcoming.
I mean, how often? Think if you own like a little like specialty shop like that. How often do you just get like a crew of guys?
Yeah, there's 15 dudes with nice cars that stop
Like-
in, and they're
like,
like, "Hey, we're gonna buy a bunch of
exactly
shit."
to the T what your specialty is.
Yeah.
And just like I've been in retail before, like that's a dream come true.
Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
an awesome day.
Yep.
So
So is Midpond like their local track? How far are they from?
They were still 2 hours, two and a half,
it was
3
like
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
I think they have other tracks around, but the Midpond is kind of local.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially once you start getting, I mean, any other state besides
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Everything down there is
Everything.
far away.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
think like you guys used to go to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That's like a solid 2.5,
Yeah.
2 hours 45. And like once you do it like once or twice, it really didn't feel that long
Right.
at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Like it's pretty close at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah, it's better than driving somewhere in Florida that's just a skid pad or whatever it is. It's like
Yeah,
the
definitely.
vibe at Midpond is unmatched. It's just like being in the South. Everything there is slow. Like you
Mhm.
hang out and you're just like, cool, everyone's unloading. I'm gonna go fish.
Yeah.
Some Cookout Works pictures.
Oh hell yeah, perfect.
Me and Andy didn't make the cut for this one.
I was taking a
Dang.
photo.
So what did a lot of the guys get at Cora Works? Was it
All right, so
Valve covers.
here's my bay. I got the cast cover, oil cap, coil pack cover, and then the brake master and clutch.
I love the purple like fuchsia with the blue. That looks super nice.
Went
Good
for the
contrast.
cotton candy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like it looks like.
But yeah, they were hyped, and then they came and looked at our cars and stuff after. They were definitely hyped.
What was that truck they had back there?
I have no idea.
That little pink Toyota.
They had a lot of
Thing
cool
was
cars
nasty.
back there.
Yeah, I bet. Because they don't just sell parts; they do like
Oh yeah, they
they're a
build
modification shop essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their shop was real cool.
brake light fix.
Chili's.
Yeah.
So you drove the whole way with Yuki?
Yeah, so we were gonna meet at 4:30, and then I was like, Yuki, you ready? And he was like, oh yeah. So it was like 3:30. We just went to Yuki's, and then this was like our first stop. We stopped at Chili's.
Of course, you gotta stop. You gotta
Got
hit
some
the
food,
Chili's. Yeah.
It's a quick trip, dude. 45 minutes when you're not with 17 people.
Dude, the turnaround, like it's become a reliable stop for like I want to sit down for dinner, but I don't want to be there for an hour and a half.
Yeah, but now they have those convenient kiosks.
Mhm.
You don't even have to ask for your check. You just beep.
yeah,
All right, I'm outta
facts.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true.
I went to breakfast this morning. I waited 45 minutes for my check. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I
lady."
do. You know, I'm always saying places got to tighten up, but you know what? Like,
I worked in kitchens for 15
Yeah.
years, dude. You can tighten up.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I've worked for some operations where it's like, dude, stuff's on point,
Yeah,
and
you
like
can
you're
tighten
like,
up. You want to turn this table over so you can make more money? Fuck yeah, let's go. Get me out
yeah,
here.
exactly. Facts. So, Cora Works.
Yeah, this was a nice Blue Bit gas station.
About 2 a.m.
Everything was blue. But
Yeah.
yeah, we left Cookout Works, went straight to the track, and
Unloading.
instantly everyone installed their bits.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's why everyone wanted to get their stuff off the trailers.
And then we just unloaded, went to the Airbnb, slept a night.
So did you guys like rent the track out? How did that work?
Yeah, so we rented the track for 2 days, and whoever wanted to come just had to pay a certain amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
then
saw
it's-
you guys were driven with some Z or something. I had no
yeah,
idea. who
he's
he was.
he's like friends
Logan.
with like
He's from
Derek
Florida.
and
So
he's from-
Corey DiLiberto, I am based.
No,
Yeah,
The
he's
kid that
got-
has the white Z, that's the same thing.
It's
It
white
was like
with, like,
2
a
or 3
blue
years ago.
livery,
Lambo
right?
doors.
Oh, okay.
Him and his friend Chris came up.
Oh, yeah.
He's
They had
also-
the crazy liveries. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he's also a media guy. Corey's super
Fully
talented
sent.
media dude.
Okay.
And then him and Logan both have a business together. I think Fully Sent is
Yeah, it's
their
called
business.
Fully
Yeah.
Sent.
Yeah.
So super good dudes. Logan's nasty.
Sick.
Good
Yeah.
style. Nitrous
I-
in that car.
Oh, really?
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
dude,
So,
it's
so is it
crazy.
just like a all motor VQ with the nitrous hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool shit.
It makes some crazy backfires, dude. It's like one of those chest things. God.
Like the VQ, like they can be done so well.
Yeah, and his was quiet, dude. Like
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
crazy thing. It's
Like-
not a loud car.
Yeah, I was impressed with it in all the videos I saw in the driving too. I was like, I couldn't figure out who it was either, but I was like, this guy, like, he's a good addition and to have down there with the homies, like driving.
There it
There we
is.
There
Good
it
dude.
is.
Perfect.
If you're listening on the audio, check out. This is another good YouTube video here. You know, we got a lot of the content from the trip showing up on the
Yeah.
TV and
Pretty
whatnot.
much just a picture of Logan's car.
And
Yeah,
those are small wheels in the back compared to what he normally runs. So like as soon as that car squats, he's dragging side frame, and he's driving
Dude, the
dragging
side skirt's like on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as that thing squats, dude, you can just see the rear bumper just folding out.
We get
That's
a lot
crazy.
of bad taste in Z's around here, but this kid is sick.
It's
Yeah.
nasty. Yeah. They
Yeah.
can be. Like even Flav, Moonman, his
Yeah.
Z is so nice, dude. So good. They can be done right.
Yeah, they
But
can be.
They're just beat cars. Everybody wants to get them for seat time.
Yeah. They're
Facts.
just easy to obtain.
Hopefully
So-
somebody wins the Nils raffle.
Oh yeah. Accurate Fabrication got a little raffle going. That thing probably already sold out by now.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yep.
Don't worry, we snuck in there.
Those are some. He's got some banging waffles going.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Like those are quality.
Nils
Good
is a
price too.
talented
Good
dude.
price.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's super nice dude. One of my best interactions with Nils is like it was his birthday at Lock City, and I'm just sitting there waiting for one of the boys to drive by and like scoop me for a ride along, and he just like pops his fucking door open in the Datsun truck.
Yeah.
And he just like
It's a Dodge.
dodge,
Mhm.
but you know, yeah, it throws me off
Dodge.
every time. and he just like hop in, and I'm just like, not like, sure,
go.
fuck it, yeah, let me get in this thing. And he's got like the old school friggin' race harness and everything like that. And then like he's literally banging doors with his boy in the LS Beamer.
Yeah.
And I was just, and he's like, it's my birthday, I got to be having fun in the car with somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this guy rocks.
Yeah, Midpond.
So
yeah.
how you guys got there? You installed the bits.
Yep.
Did the driving happen the day you got there or the next day?
So we got there probably like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, like when did everyone else get there?
we all got there at the
Wednesday?
same time.
Yeah.
So
It was like Lynch showed up a little bit later than everybody else.
Yeah, let's run through the roster
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so-
we got,
definitely.
yeah, we got a heavy
So to
roster.
because I don't
Start-
even know who was.
Derek and them, all the New York boys, Little Man and stuff, they left Tuesday at 11 and they stop a lot. So we got to
It
go
took
to work
them
like 20 minutes
30
after
hours.
them.
When you say you get there at the same time, like I know they left a fuck ton earlier than you. So when you said
Yeah.
just now that you got there at the same time, I'm like,
Well,
how the fuck does
they
that
had
work?
The 3
You got to
car
stop
and
at Buc-ee's
stuff,
and take
so
a shower, you know?
Oh, Buc-ee's. That's Little Man's jam.
that's
I know-
all
I-
their jam.
I can't lie. I'd probably make an hour-long stop.
So
at Buc-ee's,
most of
too.
us got to the track the same time, and then Will and Lynch got there probably a few hours after. And then we all just went to the Airbnb, slept. What did we do for food that day? Oh, Andy picked up a bunch of pizzas
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the first
with
day.
Kyle Reddy.
Yep.
Was
Crowded
that
Airbnb.
The picture of you in the truck bed with Brad.
No, that was the next day. So
Ah.
it's not illegal. We got to Alabama, and somebody sent a picture of 2 girls in the back of a truck
Yeah,
bed
yeah.
in the Snapchat, and I was like, "Yo!" Immediately looked it up, and I was like, "There's no law in Alabama
Yep.
against riding in a truck bed." I was
Yep.
like, "I'm not sitting in any of these trucks for the rest of the time, dude." I was on the highway. We went to Longhorn
That's
Steakhouse. A cop blew by us. I was like, "Oh my
and you're
god!"
just in the bed of the, that's
Yeah, dude.
that's my favorite thing.
Oh
about
You
my
gotta
driving.
live
God.
while you're alive,
That's-
man.
that's the
Most
shit we can't do.
Alabama thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I'm in New Hampshire, I don't wear my fucking seatbelt. You know, like
Tooted.
Just Will's.
Will's
truck.
got
Thing squat and belongs in Alabama.
the Alabama
Yeah.
squad.
yo, they must have thought he was just moving down there with
So-
Rhode Island plates.
We're on the way down, and there's a squatted truck with some bro wheels, like tooted out. Has like a little landscaping trailer with lawnmowers. I'm like, look at this dude. Pull up on the side. He's like, he's got to be like 60, just like against the wheel. I'm like, what the?
He bought that thing for a square deal, 10 grand, dude, 260,000 miles
he
squatted.
He probably saw what was it, like a Chevy or something like that. He probably saw like
Yeah.
2500 HD,
Yep.
like X amount of miles, and he's like, I'll take that.
This thing got some sweet wheels on it, man.
That's
I'm
how
gonna
they
take
do
it down
it.
the highway.
Oh, that's great.
All right, so roster.
Yeah, what's the roster?
Oh God! So
All right.
Let's count it out.
Let's start with the 3-car. So Derek, Littleman, and Dan took the 3-car. Adrian as a passenger.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Brad and Janone. And then we had Logan from Florida. Marshall, he drove separate with Joao.
the
And
E36.
then it was Lynch and his daughter. And Kyle Reddy. And then there was
Zachy Blades.
Yeah,
right?
Zach Blades.
And was that it?
That was it.
That's
Will.
crazy. Yeah, Will.
Yeah, I said Will.
Oh, okay.
He drove separate, slept in some haunted town.
Yeah, he slept in Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Wait,
definitely a spooky
what?
spot.
Yeah.
Of course, Will would
That's
do
how
that.
we were just like checking each other's locations on
Yeah.
the way down there to see where everyone was. And I'm like, Will's in Roanoke. And
Is-
like, oh, that's where he's staying for the night.
Is
And I was like,
Roanoke the town where you were like the one disappeared or whatever? Like,
No, that's where you see the lady in black.
yeah. It's like a very well known horror story
Since
around
the
there that the lady in
1800s.
black shows up
Oh,
all the time.
okay,
Yeah.
all
There's
right.
there's horror movies about Roanoke.
yeah, definitely.
You stay away from there. But not when you're Will. Will's like, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's stay
That
there.
is like the plot of like a horror movie where it's like young couple stops at town on road trip,
Yeah.
stays the night, they never leave.
You don't have to worry about a La Quinta being haunted, so it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like
exa-
you stayed in some creepy Airbnb.
Facts. Whenever Steph and I travel, I'm like, yo, name brand hotels, please.
Yeah.
Like
They got continental breakfast because I want a Belgian waffle in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I want my Fruit Loops and a coffee for free, like, and then also like a 24/7 front desk that's not like a decrepit old woman that's like questionable whether or not she's actually a person or not.
Yeah, we the Airbnb we stayed at was sick, right on a massive lake. It was like 10 minutes from the track, but the driveway was like this. It was the steepest driveway I've ever seen. And Kyle already stayed there in the past, and he's like, "Yeah, I've drove down this. Like, yeah, I beached it like on the way out because my car was so low." Like, you feel like you're
a
just
couple of years ago, I remember seeing he just drove his car to Midpond.
Oh yeah, Kyle was like the veteran. Kyle, I think it was his third time going to Midpond.
Damn.
But yeah,
okay.
he street drove. I think
Props.
2 years ago, he street
Props.
drove down there.
That's
Leave it to an E36.
Kyle's a savage.
Yeah, that's a good picture. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That
the lineup.
That's
Yeah.
a nasty roster.
Except Marshall. Marshall's out
Yeah,
there.
Marshall left.
Poor guy. I have pictures of him from like his first few laps, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, what is shooting out of his hood? Like it looked like there's some kind of exhaust or something. It's
Yeah.
his head gasket.
Oh.
It was so bad it's blowing
Oh.
steam out of the hood of the
Oh,
car.
that's-
Yeah. So he blew that LS up in about
That's-
8 laps.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah,
All right.
I think we got everyone in the roster.
Whose E46 is that?
That's Zach
Zachy
Blades.
Blades.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's from Lock City. He's in the
Yeah.
B group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his whole family came out. That was sick.
Yeah.
Like his mom, his dad, I think his grandparents.
Oh,
they had
that's-
like a little French bulldog.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
That's such a nice time.
Well, and even like Midpond, they have the paddock space. They have this big building where the shop is, and
Mhm.
there's a massive deck that's just like overlooking that side of the pond. And it's you just sit there. There's grills up there, like everybody's hanging out over there.
So what's like the compound at Midpound like? Is it like
It's tiny right
Yeah.
now. It's super small, but
Yeah,
they're
'cause I saw they were-
expanding.
They were building
Yeah,
another
so
track or something.
all the elevation that you see in any of the videos or the pictures, like in the back, all of that's staying. So it's going to be a huge hill.
Oh,
They're
they're-
adding an extra mile
Yeah,
of
so-
track.
so is this like a new
So
Back-
this
back
all this
there on the
elevation
left.
over there is going to stay,
Oh,
and then they're going to have
shoot.
more stacks of paddocks.
Wow.
And then they were talking they're going to do like 30 cabins in the woods in the back.
Oh,
so people
that's
can just go and
so
camp there.
sick.
Super smart.
Are they
Yeah,
like
super
under new
smart.
are they like under new ownership? Is it like a new
No.
track or something?
Well, Clutch Kickers is going on there.
Yeah.
Clutch Kickers is
Oh,
moving.
The
to
guy
Midpond.
like bought the
Oh,
rights
okay.
to Clutch Kickers or something.
oh, that's huge.
Ken.
So
That's
like
huge.
he
Ken's
owns
a
it
G.
now.
Shout out to Ken.
But now that the track's half a mile and they're building another half a mile of track, so it's going to be a mile.
Oh, they're just
Wow.
adding on to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I thought
while
they were
we
making
were
a
there,
separate track.
the back section you had to shut down like where this cone was because there was a hole over there that was like 20 feet deep that they were filling in with a loader the whole time.
Hmm.
Being out there as a video guy, you just hear clanking of tracks and you think somebody's car exploded. So like
Yeah.
I was standing there and somebody would go by and it's like clink, clank, 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 and I was like, oh no,
You're like, who just blew an
somebody's
axle?
broken, and then you
Yeah.
just see the skid steer.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seemed like a busy operation in a lot of the videos in the
dude.
chat.
But I hope they don't repave all of this because the bumps are what made it more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of three-wheeling, dude.
As
A
long
lot
as
of
you
crazy
stay on
three-wheeling.
the track, it's a blast.
Yeah, I was gonna say this dirt job right here looks
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
That's
not
why
even
Yuki
bad.
broke a knuckle, dude. Because he went off. He hit
So
some
the-
pothole.
Yuki
He didn't
broke
eat-
his knuckle.
Yeah, we'll get to all the damages, but
Alright,
in the
yeah, we
middle
need
of
a
the
damage
track,
section.
there's a pothole, and I think he hit it just right and broke the knuckle.
Rear knuckle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Rear cast knuckle. Yeah.
So where were we?
We were we went over roster, Airbnb,
Yeah,
staying
so we're
over.
at the house, get pizza, go to Walmart, sleep, wake
Got up the next morning. Caught a
come-
sock. I wanted to catch a fish. I didn't catch. I caught just a baby bass. I fished for like 6 hours probably. It was on
you
the
guys-
tiniest microplastic, but like I'd be out there at like 6 in the
Were you the only
morning,
one that
dude.
caught something?
No, so
No,
there was
dude,
a
so-
pond at the house.
Yeah, so we were on a lake.
Oh, at the house.
So like I
okay.
figured I'd get up early and I could get something out there, and like Brennan came out and I'm like, oh damn, like this is heavy, like something's on there, dude. The dirtiest mud-filled sock on the face of the planet. I'm like, how?
off the
It
dock of an
smelled
Airbnb.
so bad, dude.
Oh.
Taking it off the hook, I was like,
Oh.
this is so bad.
Oh God!
But the fishing at Midpond, there's 5 different kinds of fish in that pond. So
It's
there's
just at
there's
Midpond?
carp, there's catfish, there's largemouth bass, there's bluegill, and there's something else. But like I'm trying all different kinds of baits and whatever, and we're there for like 2 days. And the Southern bumpkin that works the counter shows up, and she's got long nails and like this kid's rod with one of the push things. And I was like, what are you using for bait? She's like, a French fry. And I was like, a what? She's like, yeah, I feed all these fish human food. She's like, just wait. So all of a sudden, the little fish are going at it, and this monster catfish just grabs it. And she's fighting for like 8 minutes with a kid's pole. She's like, I got a 6-pound test. I can't break this. Dude, she pulled out like a catfish that was probably 4 or 5 pounds. Huge.
That's
huge.
so badass.
You know how frustrating that is, though? Like, I'm a fisherman. I'm an angler, as they say. And it's not good when somebody beats you with a French fry.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I
Yeah.
lost 3 lures in here because I'm trying to use treble hooks and all
She's
this
out on
fancy
her-
shit.
She's out on her 20-minute coffee break, pulling in a fucking 6-pounder real
Yeah.
quick, and you're just like, dude,
Yep.
what
It was
am I
all
doing
wrong. Heidi, Mike's daughter, caught her first fish. That was sick.
Oh,
She
that's
caught
awesome.
a largemouth.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Everyone remembers the first fish.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone.
Yep.
That's cool. So there's a pond on premises.
Yep. Pond on pond. Mid pond is called Mid
Yeah,
Pond for
I
the
don't
pond.
have a picture of the pond at the house, but
Rip. But when did the drive? How was what was the first day of action like? The morning showing
so
up and
what was it? 8 in the morning?
Yeah. Drivers meeting.
Tech and drivers meeting.
Yep. Tech was pretty low key. They don't
Oh,
go
so
super
they had
crazy.
like a
Yeah,
staff
so
there going
yeah,
over stuff.
what was the guy's name? You remember that?
I don't
guy's name?
remember.
There's the track official that was there all the time. But
It was
he
just crazy to me hearing this older guy with a southern accent talking about reverse entries.
well, then he called. There's no random tandems. He called them Rambo Tambos.
okay.
We don't support Rambo Tambos. All right.
Okay.
Somebody puts up one finger, they don't want you behind them. No Rambo Tambos.
I fucking love that so much. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was like
With-
really relaxed. Then everybody does a track walk like everywhere else. They encourage you. And he's like, there are some spots where you can go off here and things will go bad.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. I was that was one thing I was playing in my mind. I was kind of like trying to see what the layout was approaching the pond, like what the driving was like.
Yeah, the driving around the pond is pretty mellow.
Yeah.
And like the craziest thing as a media guy is there's maybe like 3 feet of grass between the pond and the track. And
Yeah.
they're like, no, you can go all the way to that flag right there.
Oh, like in
So
no
you-
man's land.
You have the grass, the track, and the pond, and you're on the inside. But like if they decide they want to go off, the only way you can go is into the pond.
Yeah.
So like it's super weird standing there, and like the rules
That's
out there
close.
were,
Yeah, that's close.
they were
to the
pretty
track,
lax. They were just like make sure you're on the inside of a turn. But like
too. Was that specifically because it was a private day?
no, I think it's like that all the time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the
very relaxed.
a lot of the more rural, like even at like in Wisconsin, like it felt like when you're out in more rural areas, it's almost like they have a little bit more trust in the people going to the track that like you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and they kind of let you be your own guide
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
This was way more like mellow. Like if you want to go on the track, just put on a high vis vest and stay on the inside.
Yeah.
Like you can get right.
We had
up
a
to
lot
the
of
track
media
and get
last
videos
weekend.
and stuff.
Yeah,
There was like
cool.
8 vests out there at one point because there were so many broken cars.
And they have paddle boats on this pond, and you can ride right up to the edge.
Saw a video.
Yeah,
You're
we got
like
some sick
3
clips of
feet
that.
from the cars.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I found one the other day, like deep in the drop box, and it's like Danny, Joao, you, and I think Adrian, and there's 2 paddle boats next to him, and somebody's driving by, and they're all just like, yeah, the paddle boats is a sick, like that's stuff that they just offer all the time.
Do they?
So like if you're there, they're like, yeah, take the paddle boats out. Like,
Yeah.
Do they have a driver cap there? Like if you were to, say
40, I think 40 was
Okay,
Yeah.
I was
But either
wondering.
way, fitting 40 cars in the paddock they have does not compute.
Well,
yeah,
It
so
doesn't
it's
make
that
any
big.
sense. It's that small. It's
So
tiny,
we
dude.
left our trucks and trailers there, but I think at normal events they drive
move
them
them.
down the road and just have their cars and tools and stuff.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah.
I love that when we go to Final Bout and do that.
Yeah.
that was
It's
super
a
cool.
pain in the ass, but it makes the pit vibe
way better.
cooler.
unmatched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And more of like a show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and then even with this, because there were so few cars, everyone's like the backdrop is the track and the pond.
Yeah,
It's
That's
so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
definitely seems like something that will have to happen again with
Next
more
year
of
we're
like
going.
more of like a run up, more of like a preparation, more
Yep.
people going down there. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's definitely a haul, but it's definitely worth it overall.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure we have more space in the Airbnbs, gentlemen. Please. For fuck's sake.
I mean, you always get stuck on the couch somehow.
Yeah,
Every time you
whatever,
get an
it's
Airbnb.
fine. I don't care. Like even this time, they're folding Joao up at a couch the second night. They're all drunk, and I'm just
I saw.
passed out, dude. I put in earplugs. Like I'm done, dude. None of the snoring. I'm 35 years old. Everyone else is like 10 years younger than me. I'm like, dude, I need at least 4 hours of sleep. So I'm
Or
gonna.
you guys packed in there like some Vienna sausage.
So-
Oh yeah, dude.
So the house had 5 beds, right?
15 people.
5 beds, 2 couches.
Who booked this house?
Brennan.
Hey, Brennan.
Hey, Brennan.
But it got overpacked. Yuki kind of got dicked. Yuki had to go stay at a hotel because there wasn't really enough space. But
We figured it out.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
probably like in the future do like a 2 or 3 Airbnb split.
Or
Yeah.
a bigger one.
just plan ahead. It's all right. There's always more people that end up coming.
We
Yeah,
made
definitely.
it work.
Honestly, like when I got let go last Monday, I thought about hitting you up and being like, "Ayo, plans have changed.
I'm coming.
I wasn't going, and I'm going again. But I was like, you know what? It's been a long week. I'll sit this one out.
It's like I'm one who always like makes food for people, and like I bought eggs and shit. And the next morning, I'm like, there's 16 people. Like, I'm not making that many eggs right now.
Yeah.
I'll make 3 sandwiches, and we're getting the fuck out of here.
Was Derek whipping up stuff?
No, I had to
No.
cook all
No,
weekend. So we
really?
had a grill. We get home like the last night, and everyone's like, yeah, we're just gonna grill. And we get there, and I'm like, we need to make sure the grill works. It's a charcoal grill. You know who knows how to do charcoal?
Sick.
You.
So who gets to grill for 2.5 hours? Dude, I just got out of the shower. They're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go smell like smoking meat for the
Man,
next
I wish I did go, Andy, because then we could have been splitting that together.
Yeah, it's all
Like,
right. It's how it goes. I've been dad for a long time, so
I feel
I
that.
accept my responsibilities.
Yo, straight up, it's a good time though. It's nice. Always give you something to do. So let's get to the drive-in. How is Midpond itself as a track, as an experience, and like what were kind of like the rule set going out there? Because
So that guy worked like tech and whatever. There's no grid worker. You just make sure you're good and go out.
Yep.
I think there was like 5 at a time on the track.
Yeah, he said they would allow up to 6,
Yeah.
but we never got that far.
Yeah. Well, everyone broke.
So
There
what days did you drove down on?
Tuesday. Got there Wednesday and drove
Driving Thursday,
and
Friday.
Okay.
And they had an event Saturday and Sunday. So
Gotcha.
usually if you rent it, it's got to be a weekday, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
that does.
But,
Or just a weekend. They don't have an event.
Yep.
start driving. Everyone's hot and ready out there.
Everybody was probably
Will
pretty
blew up
fired
his
up.
diff. Will was the first person to break, I think. Will blew up his diff on like his second lap, and
He
that wasn't
opened
great.
the diff up. It looked like the weld broke, got jammed in there, and it just started grinding away at the ring gear. So he was on his way to get a diff, and then Derek broke first.
I don't think he did. I mean, Derek
Cause-
was having issues.
Because Derek's car, so Derek got rod knock.
Rip.
Did he even drive yet?
He drove.
He did
I
the-
have like 3 laps, maybe half.
I didn't want to get
laps.
to the break in this fast, guys.
That's how quick it was.
I wanted to know what the
How quick it was.
driving was.
That's how quick it
All right,
was.
so the track's sick, the driving's sick. A couple of us got the tandem.
Mhm.
All right, well, yeah, just keep going
Yeah,
from where
keep
you're
going,
at.
keep
Because
going.
this was right when you started driving.
So
Thursday,
this is
and
like
people-
3 laps in, 2
people
laps
already
in.
It was
braking.
Will's second lap,
Okay.
and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it's the skid steer again." No, that's a diff. That is an actual broken piece, and he was breaking up. His car was breaking up, and then Derek's car sounded weird a couple of times. I was like, "I don't know what's going on," and then Derek didn't come back out. Derek got rod knock. So then
When
Derek's
car was driving, though, it sounded sick. It was like a rally car.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
It had like over 600
600
horsepower.
horsepower.
SR22. Yo,
Stroker SR.
That's nasty.
I think he's gonna fix it, but so
he said
yeah,
it didn't look bad.
he did that. Will broke his diff, and then Will's driving to pick up a diff, and Derek's like, "Just take my diff." So Will comes back, does that. Derek's
Swaps it
car
out.
became a part out this week.
Yeah, it was.
So then,
Marshall was next. So Marshall was pushing coolant and stuff out of his head gasket, and then he got rod knock. So the LS was done maybe 7 laps in, and he's like, "I'm just gonna drive it until it blows up," and it blew up. So that's
So
a
3
crazy
cars
decision.
down
at the
Yeah.
first Lock City this
He just
year,
put that
Marshall
motor
got
in.
rod knock.
Yeah.
So then he said, "I can't make it to the pond," and then he swapped it and made it to the pond.
And then he blew it up again.
Holy shit.
Poor bastard.
Oh,
He was a good sport about it. Like you
Yeah,
could tell he
gotta
was
be.
down, but like he still hung out and did his thing.
Gotta
Like
be.
that's always the
It's a
craziest thing to me.
E36 with the LS, if you didn't know.
okay.
Yeah, but people that like everybody that does that, everybody this weekend, like I would be so butthurt, dude. I would be so angry the whole
Yeah.
time. I'd be like, I drove so far, and that everybody's still in good spirits, man. Like,
But you know what though? I feel like because you go so far, and because like like when shit pops like that, it's just kind of like, at least for me, it's like when push comes to shove, you're like, am I really gonna be sitting here and just like be like piss poor miserable 1,200, 1,300 miles away from home, or am I just gonna like make
Enjoy
the bet?
it.
Yeah, like
Mm.
enjoy it and be like, this is my circumstance, this is what I'm looking at, and like this is what I gotta be
well,
thankful
that was
for.
the nice thing too because it was so relaxed. Like they had extra media vests,
Yeah.
So they just get to go out and like hang out on track and
Yeah.
film the boys. Like,
Yeah.
That definitely made it a little better.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, I feel like just part of drifting is always understanding the risk that your car is borderline braking every time you drive
it's so
it.
crazy because it's so underglorified though. Like, yeah, people know it's a thing, but like nobody shows that.
Yeah.
Like it's the internet.
Yeah,
The highlight
right.
reel is always burning tires when
Yeah.
90% of it is working on the
Yeah,
fucking thing, dude.
Like it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And it's like when it should happen is not when you're 18 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is Bryan didn't have to wash his car like everybody else. It stayed clean the
What-
whole time, dude.
So after Marshall, my clutch was feeling funky. I probably did like 4 laps. Every time I went out, it was worse. Went to go do a lap and it was just stuck on the floor. I was like, looks like I need some clutch mechanism. So I went back to the pits and I was like, oh, I need a master. So I called the AutoZone and there was like a main hub. I forget what city was near there.
Oh, Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham AutoZone was like a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
Got the clutch master. They all went to lunch, swapped it out. Clutch was good. And then I started driving again. And it was like breaking up and get back, hook up the laptop and just doing logs. Thing was
Nicky
making
Tunes remote.
he didn't bring his laptop to work that day, so but we were looking at the logs. It was making like 26 pounds, so it was hitting boost cut. Thing was really ripping.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, engine could take it. It was whatever. So I went back, hooked up the wastegate line. It was good for a little, and then it was just getting real hot, like unreasonably. Like I would do 1 lap, thing would be like at 200. I'm like, what's going on here? Pull off, thing would go up to like 230, and then I was like,
Sheesh.
That's hot.
So my head gasket went. We didn't know this. We thought it was like thermostat or something.
Yeah.
Taking thermostats out,
So it's
swapping
pressuring-
thermostats.
Yeah, it was pressurizing the coolant and it was overflowing out of the overflow. And I didn't know what was going on. So then pulled out the thermostat, went down the road. I was like going for like a mile. I was just full boost with the foot on the brake. Just all I could smell was brakes, trying to get this thing hot, and it wouldn't heat up. So then do like a 30-second heater and then go to the track. I was like, oh, it's good. Go do another lap. Thing spikes back up. So I got towed off the track. And that was it for me.
Heady G.
Heady G down in the chat.
So how many laps did you get to do?
I got to do like 8.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
guess.
So who did more than 8?
So the survivors, Brad, J Noun,
I think for Thursday,
No, I thought J Noun.
Kyle. Well, J Noun was having intermittent issues. He was having fuel issues because it was apparently his gas tank super dirty.
Mm.
We didn't know that ahead of time, but he was driving super hard the whole first day, and then towards the end of the first day, his car started breaking up. It sounded like shit. Pulled the fuel filter. There was a bunch of shit in it. Got a new fuel filter. I think he took Derek's or something. Yeah. And he drove on and off, but he made it through the weekend.
Okay.
Brad made it the whole time, Jay-Z stuff, but it was getting super hot. He could do like a lap, and then he had to stop. Yuki drove.
What was the weather down there like? Was it hot?
It was
out
like
or?
85. Yeah, it was pretty hot.
Okay.
So
It was
super
perfect.
sunny. Yeah.
So I think for Thursday, Brennan did the most laps. He was out there a lot.
Oh, E85 fuel issues?
No.
Wow.
So
that thing was
there was a
holding up like
gas
champ.
station that reminds me right down the road, and
Racetrack.
E85 was $199.
What?
Yeah, it was sick.
Holy shit.
So I topped everything off.
If there was one like that
Even
here,
the
I would
truck.
do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brennan broke an axle, right?
Yep. The first day.
And then,
Did he do the Z axles though?
yeah.
One of them broke. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even Kyle broke like a Guibo or something
Yeah,
in his
so
steering
Yeah.
column.
The steering
Yeah.
column has like a rubber bushing and it just shredded.
Well, and then he drove like 3 hours to go get one that night, and he didn't get back till like 1 a.m. So it was 6
Dude.
hours total driving. But then Marshall, like the next day, was like, "Why didn't you just take mine?"
What a trooper. What a trooper.
But Kyle fixed it, got ready. I think Zachy Blades broke an axle.
Yep.
So the only thing that
Yuki
really
broke an axle
didn't
too around the
break
same time.
Brad and Yuki. Well, no, because Yuki broke that knuckle. Yuki
Brad's
bought a
the
whole
only-
shell.
Yeah, Yuki
Yuki
bought a whole
went and bought
chassis.
a whole shell so he could have
What?
a knuckle. Yeah. And then they were like talking about squishing it with a Miata and like shoving it in the woods or whatever. And then Bryan took the doors. J Noun took the rear crash bar.
It must have been
and
an S14.
Then
Jeff.
Yeah.
and then he sold it to some guy. Some guy came and picked it up at
So-
the track.
so-
So there
so
it goes.
He had to buy the
The
whole
most Yuki thing ever. Are
he
you
had, to,
kidding
he
me?
had to buy the whole
Yeah.
chassis.
Yeah, this
Just for
this
the
is-
knuckle.
just
So
for-
he
there was
found knuckles on Facebook, and the guy wouldn't just sell the knuckles. Like they're sitting in the
Wow.
pictures on the side of the car.
Oh, like they're already
wasn't
out
even
of the
in the
like it
car.
wasn't like, hey, I'm not pulling them out of this car.
Like the car had knuckles, but they were on the car, and he had spare knuckles on the side, but he wouldn't just sell the spares.
What a
So Yuki's like, all right, what
I'll
am
buy
I
the
gonna
whole
not
thing.
drive? So Thursday he went,
Oh
bought the
my
whole
God.
shell, comes back, and the guy who
holy shit.
worked at the track, he was wicked cool. He's like posting it in the Midpond page and
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Like,
Is this Marshall?
no.
No.
The guy who works at Midpond.
Marshall was a kid with the
the
E36.
guy who did tech inspection.
Oh, the old guy.
Not the old guy, the other guy.
Oh my God. All right.
So like the guy who owns the track, he's like older. Ken.
That's the guy's name I do know.
And then
Ken.
there's a younger guy that works there.
Okay.
So he posted in the Midpond page. He's like, somebody will come get this. I think he bought it for $700, sold the shell for $600 the next day. I bought the doors for $100, and then J Noun bought the crash bar for whatever.
Dude, Yuki is such a sales guy. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's got Midas touch, man, with that stuff.
Good for him, man. Somebody's got
So
it.
he made it work though.
Yeah, if we
God
had a
bless.
way,
After all that.
we would have
Yeah.
taken the shell back because it was pretty clean.
Yeah.
No
I mean, it's
rust at
a
all.
southern
Yeah.
Yeah, I
shell.
bet,
like,
no rust.
No salt, man.
It wasn't really like the rear quarter was a little beat, but it's a
There was also
240.
nothing in that thing.
Yeah, it was absolutely gutted.
gutted.
No
Yeah, it looked
wires, no
empty.
nothing.
Windows? Or?
Windows, windshield is cracked though.
Glass is tough, dude.
But I got some clean doors out of it, so
Yeah.
Hey,
Not bad.
Yeah, no,
up
that's a
in
good
the
deal.
attic they go.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, he stayed up late, took his car apart to put the knuckle in, and then the next day, little man's out there. He's like the first one out. I guess they hear this clunking noise, And I'm looking, I'm like, what is going on? It looked like his drive shaft snapped, but
It fell out.
he never, like, the diff flange bolts loosened up, and the thing just fell out.
the whole drive shaft.
What?
Yeah.
Once again, Derek's car to the rescue.
Derek
No
has a
shit.
CD, so little man got a drive shaft on that.
Wait, he couldn't put the drive shaft back in?
No,
So
it
all the
fucked up on
holes
the way
got
out.
like
Yeah.
smushed and ovaled from hitting the ground.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, and in general, just from the torque of it,
Yeah.
when the bolts were loose, it opened
Because
Yeah,
out
the
all
play.
the
so
holes.
he drove with it messed up kind of all
and
day
he was
Thursday.
driving hard. Brennan drives fucking hard too.
Yeah, Brennan
He's
was
an
running them out there.
I got more clips of Brennan than anyone. And even Lynch was having issues. I forget what happened. He broke
So
axles.
Lynch was bending tie rods left and right.
Because he has the small ones. Right?
Yeah, he has
he doesn't go to.
S13 So
I got 2 extras for him.
He won't take them.
no.
It's a pride thing
I
at this
think
point.
he's gonna do S14 now. He's had enough.
No, I got 2 spare S13 ones.
He's gonna do.
I just
S14
bought with my new
now.
rack.
Yeah, he would bend them and then just bend them back and put them back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's some
So-
old school stuff right
yeah,
there,
you
man.
had to make it work.
Yeah.
And then he
So-
was having a ground issue. Something else happened electrically with his
So
car.
he wouldn't go do like 2 laps, come relax. He'd be out there for like half an hour till his car broke, come back, fix it, and repeat. It was funny.
God bless.
And then it sounded like his throttle got stuck, but I guess it sucked in the throttle body bolts.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So we thought the engine was done.
Like the screws that
The
hold.
2 throttle body blade screws,
Yeah.
those got sucked in.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Thought his engine was done. He found one. We're looking in all the cylinders. It looks good. And then the other one must have spit out. Put new screws. Thing
Didn't
was
he
good
find
to
one
go.
in his intake?
Yeah, he took his intake off and found one in there.
Huh.
But the other one must have got spit out.
Okay. So no one knows.
No,
His car's still
his
alive.
engine's still dialed. It
Where did
doesn't
he
make-
get 2 screws from?
Probably Derek.
Dude, this sounds just like the cannibalization event. Just
Yeah.
like cars
This
keeping
was a
cars alive.
Disaster.
I mean, everybody still had a good time, so
That's like the marvelous thing about this trip, like from like watching it happen live in the chat and then like the Instagram lives that Adrian was running and everything, is it's like I knew shit was hitting the fan from afar, but like you guys and everybody driving, like we're still putting on a good show, and like I thought everyone was enjoying themselves pretty much the whole time.
So even if you can't drive, you can still go in the boats, go fishing.
Yeah.
There's like the deck with all the seats. It was nice. And then it was Kyle Reddy's birthday Friday.
Yep.
Had some cake and sang happy birthday on the deck.
So,
Kyle got a lot of laps on Friday.
Yeah,
Wait, so
he was ripping.
so
He was throwing down.
on Thursday, did Will go back out after he
Oh, yeah.
blew his diff?
Will drove pretty hard.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
so
a lot of
about the
driving on.
time I was switching my clutch master, he was changing his diff. And yeah, he put it back in and went back out.
Okay.
Yeah, Logan. I think Logan was
Was good.
the MVP of the weekend for most laps. He went flying off the track the first lap, though. He got beached
Yeah.
the first lap. So he went around the pond, around that corner, but then there's that tight left that like gets really shallow, and he was
Do
just.
you have like an
in the
in-car
dirt.
video?
Yeah, like let's see some. If you got like a good like
Where's
whole
that one
car
of
clip,
Jay Now
like, whole
and
lap.
Brad, dude? Pull that thing up. It should be
I
on
don't
Jay
have
Nown's.
those.
Put one up on Jay Nown's Instagram, dude.
Oh, here's some boat clips.
The thing's missing a foot pedal. It's real hard.
All right, we got some in car. This is Yuki chasing Will. I think Yuki's on the Valinos because he can't not
Dude.
go straight.
Dashboard sick.
Oh, Yuki had more issues we'll talk about. Yeah, we can't really see the track here.
I was gonna say,
That's why I said pull up that one of Jay Now. You can open Instagram, your phone's capable.
Could also do that.
you know, I trust the cameraman. I'm gonna trust the media professional here. Let's call. Let's get this.
Unless you have a better like in-car on your camera roll or something outside, like an outside clip.
So
Oh, yeah,
in
here
the
we
meantime,
go.
like how many cars were like? Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, how did Danny Imports do?
Danny did phenomenal.
Danny's car was like breaking up towards the end, but he was driving through it. There's Jay Noun's car breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded rough.
But there's Logan and Yuki.
Car's sick.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's where he got beached.
On time.
Makes sense. His car's stupid low too.
Yeah.
He's got
he's
like
got big wheels too.
he's
I
got
think
like
they're
half-
20s.
he's got like half an
19s.
inch to freaking spare.
It's crazy. So yeah, end of day on Thursday, and then Friday. How'd that go?
Well, a lot of stuff was broken.
Yep.
Jay Noun was frustrated because his car wasn't working properly.
He also needs a head gasket.
SR things.
Tomei.
No, the Tomei head gasket
No, the
bites the
Tomei
dust.
can't handle it. Can't handle the southern heat.
Oh, that's what he had in his car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they let you run whatever you want. So they're like, oh, if you want to drive half the day regular and then go reverse, just
make
tell
sure,
everyone and
yeah.
make sure everyone knows that
Yep.
they're going reverse. So then you get the opportunity to drive the other way. But I think regular is the way that most people prefer to drive.
Just flows a little bit better.
I guess so, yeah. But
Did you drive both ways or just one?
I got 2 laps in reverse, and then we just switched it back.
Yeah.
Mhm. Did everybody that was driving kind of prefer the regular layout versus the reverse? Yeah.
that's where the
'Cause-
gangster clips came from, though.
Yeah.
Because that kid was just positioned perfect, fishing out of the paddle boat, and everybody was coming into that corner at the pond. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Now I'm curious about the backy corner. I've seen
Oh,
clips.
That's not
end of the
really
day
the best
Friday.
backy corner, though. I
It's
feel like
not,
going
but-
reverse the opposite direction on the same corner, or the corner that most people went into, like after the pond, would have been the best backy corner because it's just a straight hairpin, and you have to throw it that much anyways. But
I've seen a lot of clips of other like drift events at this, and it seems like I've seen a lot of clips of that corner at that tree, kind of like
it's like tree turn at E-Town.
yeah, that's the vibes I was getting from it.
The corner is sick. If you go off, it's just like 10 feet of dirt, though, and then like a big berm.
Yeah, Brad blew his bumper apart
So
over there.
Brad was ripping alone, and he went into the berm backwards and just broke his bumper.
Yeah.
He made out pretty good.
We pushed Derek's car out there for that photo.
Yep. Derek's car got pushed out here.
Brian's got broken.
Yeah, so what else happened? Oh, Yuki. My car was broken, so I was just riding with people. And I'm in Yuki's car. He enters in first. I'm like, what are you doing? What? So then he's like, oh, fuck. So he puts in second, enters again. Hood just flies up.
I saw that clip.
Yeah.
I didn't know whose car that was, but
So when he was cooling it down at the hose, he forgot to latch it. Luckily, his windshield and stuff's fine because I can't imagine getting a
He's got a
windshield.
carbon
Imagine
fiber
that.
hood, right?
Damn.
he already went through trying to get a windshield for the R34, and it took him like a year.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
so it's-
worst part
so it's
about having an
fiberglass.
S chassis, dude. Where do you find glass?
Well, it's not even like
S14s. You can't get them. S13s, you can get them on like, what is it called? Safe Light or whatever.
Safe Light
Really?
repair. Safe Light
S14, I
replace.
couldn't find one, so I had to found it on Facebook.
Well, yeah, because yes, I mean it's just all about the numbers of the cars in the country and like what was produced in that country, and like we don't have any S15s, we don't have any R34s, like, but we kind of had some S14s and we had S13s, so
Yeah.
that's why you have that option available.
So yeah, wrapping up Friday pretty much. I don't know. Sounds like a lot of people were
A
broken.
lot of broken
Yeah.
cars. Danny won the backy comp.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we did a entry comp.
Entry comp looking
I painted a valve cover. I'll pull it up.
the attendees for the entry comp must have been low.
Yeah. Yeah, because Brad lost power steering.
So I painted.
So his car kept getting hot, and then he's like, I don't have power steering, and then it just never came back.
That's
so
some-
he was out.
That is some artistic work, Mister.
What is
Mr.
this?
Worcester?
That's
I
the valve
painted
cover.
this valve cover, and it was for the winner of the entry comp.
Oh.
So I wish I had the entry comp videos, but
You could go on Instagram.
no, I don't have them. So Danny won.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have Instagram, right?
But Danny won. It was actually a tie because J-Noun's first entry.
That was
Wait, so
nasty.
who
I was
was
watching
in
that
the
live.
entry comp then?
Justin, Danny, not Little Man, Will,
Yuki,
Lynch, Yuki,
Kyle.
Kyle, and
Zach Blades.
No,
I know. I don't think Zach, because I
That
think
was
he was
it.
fiction. I think he was
That kid
fixing
Logan?
Axel.
Logan.
Logan kept board sliding the inner curve
Yeah.
bad. Though.
So there's a
He
big
said it
dirt
beforehand. He was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't really feel comfortable with this, but fuck it. Like, I'm going to do it. And, dude, everybody, they don't let a lot of people out there because it was like a private day. Everybody kind of went and stood on that turn because they
Yeah.
weren't driving the whole track. But, like, he kept coming in and everybody was stepping back.
Yeah,
And
so
he's
the guys are wicked cool. They're like, if you guys want to instruct this so nobody drifts the whole track and is just doing an entry comp, you can all go out there and watch.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
So we were all on the entry. If you had a high-vis vest on, you could go like right near the track.
Yeah.
So I think me, Adrian, Andy,
Mike.
it's Photo Mike.
Yeah.
We're all filming. And me and Adrian kind of ran it with Derek because we couldn't drive. So we were like doing entries. Everyone got 3 runs, and we graded them 1 out of 10. J-Noun's first lap was cracked, like right off the rip. So we gave him a 9. And then Danny's last lap was cracked, so we gave him a 9 because we wanted a tie so we could do a head-to-head battle. So
Both cars were acting a fool, so that was not
So
possible.
J-Noun's car worked for his first lap. His other 2, it was breaking up. So he couldn't really do that, so then Danny won.
Okay.
J-Noun driving well in an S chassis, though.
Oh, yeah, he loves it.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
days,
definitely throwing down hard.
killing it.
Sick. So that entry comp was pretty much the end. Right?
Yeah,
So
that was the
it
last
probably
event.
ended at like 4:30, and then they could drive till 5:30. So they just
Yuki
drove.
was laying down hot laps at the end of the day, dude.
It's typical Yuki.
I was in
Yeah.
his car.
Mm-hmm.
He would not stop. He's like, "How much time I got?" I was like, "You got 2 minutes." He's like, 2 more laps." He was loving it.
Yeah, and Yuki's car rips. But he swapped Ironmans, he said.
Yeah, he tried
liked them, so.
Ironmans. He likes it. Let's get a Yuki clip in here. The
Listen to that
bump,
thing
the
sing.
bump in the middle is the best part.
Turn it down.
All right.
A little.
100%.
We're just going around.
Are you controlling the volume?
Yeah.
Oh, what the
So
heck?
I was in his car and I was
Yeah, you can
geeking the whole time. Right here. That was the best.
Yuki wa da 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 da.
Smoking out the whole track, dude.
His car sounds
Was this the
so
corner the
good.
entry was
yeah,
up?
that was
Yep.
the entry corner.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, Yuki was driving crazy. He deserves it. His car caught on fire twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Well-
not here.
Oh,
like the
okay.
S15.
I was gonna say again.
No.
No, he did good this week.
These are all the valve covers I painted.
I'm glad at least like people like Yuki and A. Brennan that have like had some other events where their cars kind of did give them an opportunity to enjoy the whole time. At least they
Yeah.
kind of seem to enjoy and get the whole experience.
Yeah, the first day, Brennan. That's why Brennan's turbo blew up. right?
Oh yeah, Brennan's turbo blew up. End
Yeah,
of the day
again.
Friday though, so he drove a lot, but we still don't understand why he keeps going through them.
I was gonna say that's how
This
many
is like
turbos.
his third
Yeah.
or fourth turbo.
Yeah.
And the motor's been fine the whole
yeah,
time.
motor's good.
Doesn't
Yeah.
other people run the same turbo?
So Mike Lynch runs it, and Andrew
They're default.
Lynch has blown
DeFranzo.
1 or 2.
So yeah, Lynch blew 2, put a blow off valve. His has been good. Andrew DeFranzo runs it. He's had no issues,
Yeah.
but he's at like 14 pounds. I think
Yeah.
Brennan's on like 20.
Yeah.
But it's still
Yeah.
so Brennan's switching to a Garrett.
I think
Okay.
you should. I think it's worth it. I
Maybe
think
a-
worth the investment of
Yeah.
After 2.
not having to worry about
Yeah.
that. Like
He's got a 25 550 now, and he's switching to 28 or something. 28.
2861
Yeah.
or 60, yeah. Sick.
So
All right.
Brennan's handwork, dude. Gotta give it to him. Kid
Yeah.
does not move when he drives. Being in his car is wild because he's just.
Oh yeah, when my car broke, I tried driving Yuki's car. That was something.
He was in the grass real fast. But Brennan drove Yuki's car and like you couldn't tell the difference. He was ripping in that thing because he's used to right hand drive.
I was going to say, do you
So,
think
like-
it was the right-hand drive?
yeah,
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Brennan's also a little smaller than me, so he fits in there.
yeah, definitely.
I was crammed.
Yeah, you're bigger
Yeah.
than Yuki.
and I'm not used to right-hand drive, so my left hand, I don't know where the e-brake is and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all like, it's more the position on the track because you're on the right now.
Oh,
So you're closer to the edge when you're on the left.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I did the first 2 turns, went in the grass. I was like, all right, I'm done before I break his kid or something.
Yeah.
So after the backy comp, another hour of driving.
Yep.
What did you guys
Took photos, lined everyone's cars up, took photos of the whole gang.
And would you guys just go back to the Airbnb for Friday night, celebrate Kyle's birthday?
Yeah, that's when the charcoal grill happened.
There.
Yeah, everyone's cars.
It was nice sleeping before we made the 20-hour drive.
Yeah, I could imagine.
After Wisconsin, that was the worst.
Yeah, dude,
that was brutal. I stopped on the way home from that because I couldn't do it.
Me and Varen just straight shot.
Well, Eric was like the Kickstarter for that. Is like, because you had the idea of stopping on the way home, and Bryan and I were like, fuck, we need a shower. We just got Culver's, some friggin', and then like Eric was like, I'm going through the night, and then like Little Man was like, yeah, we're going through the night, and then I was just like, whoa. What's the point in stopping if like
everyone else is going?
I was like, it's gonna suck.
When you do an event like this in the South when it's hot, just get Friday sleep or the night after sleep in a shower, and then you'll be set.
Well, and it's also 8 times easier when you're caravanning with trailers. Like you got somebody to block traffic if you have to get over. Like everybody can make decisions together instead of. And then if something goes wrong, you got backup.
Yeah,
you know.
I would definitely say if you're towing, 12 plus hours, 14 plus hours, more towards like that 20-hour range, it definitely helps to have. You got to have another person in the car with you, I think.
Oh yeah.
If you're at least trying to straight shot.
Well, and even having another truck, like that happened when we were on the way back from Special Stage East, Brennan's fuel line.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have somebody else with us, we would have been fucked, dude. They made it to AutoZone like 8 minutes before it closed to get the line. Yeah. So we would have been sleeping at Waffle House that night if we didn't have other people with us. So.
Even when we went out to Wisconsin the first time, like when you and I had done the driver swap, and I was letting you get some shut eye on the back. Like when we were like 3 a.m, dude, like it was a struggle going through like Ohio, Pennsylvania. Like there's nothing. It was like blue moon, super bright, and it was just like. It's kind of like hypnotizing to a point. It was like nice having like Little Man and Will behind us because like I was like checking in with them, Skinner and everything like that throughout the night, and like Skinner gave me a call a couple times, and it's just like having people to talk with that are doing the same thing you're doing. Right. It just makes the journey so much easier. On the way down,
me and Brad would call each other like every hour.
Yeah, exactly.
You get Bryan math, and he's like, "Well, 20-minute phone calls. If I make 15-minute phone calls and we'll be there." Like math don't be mathing, dude. We got 16 hours left.
I was just thinking if we do 5 1-hour calls with Brad, we'll be that much closer. So it kind of made time go by.
Well, it'll just take me 5 phone calls. Dude, I'm on my 4th phone call with Brad. 1 more phone call and we'll be there.
Yeah, and then that last night, dude, that was the shit show night. Everybody got all turned.
At the house.
Oh yeah. Yep. J-Down was fucking yelling for hot dogs, dude.
The grocery store is called Piggly Wiggly.
Dude.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
That's some southern shit right there.
Yeah, there's a few in Florida.
We got a bunch of burgers and stuff. Andy cooked because never even
bunch
used
of children
the charcoal.
Don't know how to use charcoal. You gotta let it catch on fire. And then you gotta let it burn for a long time,
and then let it smolder, and then you grill.
Yep. Yeah. I had burgers on there for like 40 minutes, and I was like, "Well, fuck it,
I'll
eventually be there."
But yeah, that was pretty much it. We stopped at Applebee's. It was so Adrian rode with us on the way home.
The way home was the best because we just packed Bryan's car to the brim.
Yeah,
so we were like, we got plenty of storage in your car, so we filled the back seat was open.
Yeah, when you're on the pack up, you just throw shit.
Yeah. So on the way there, all the clothes were in my truck back seat.
We only needed to worry about the driver.
On the way home, we should have done this on the way there because sleeping in the back is so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So way home, filled my car with all the clothes, anything that could get wet. Because now I have 2 doors, that I'm taking.
True.
So we couldn't shut the tonneau cover anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So anything that could get wet went in my car. Back seat was wide open. And me, Andy, Adrian, and then Yuki and Mikey, they drove in Yuki's truck.
Yeah.
Went to Applebee's. Yeah. We get gas. We're on our way again. It's like 10 at night. Yuki calls me. He's like, "Hey, Mikey forgot his wallet at the gas station." And we're like, all right.
We're going to keep going.
But we'll call you when we're stopping so we can meet up with you. So then he gets there, calls me back. He's like, "Hey, we just got the gas station." Wallet was in the door the whole time.
No way.
But then, so we're driving. We were still a little bit separated, but we're like, all right, we're gonna pull over for gas. It's 2:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and
I was gonna say.
he's here.
Oh, okay.
oh, we have an
We're
interruption.
pausing it.
Yeah. Or just tell them the way. I mean, I feel like we're pretty much
Yeah,
wrapping
yeah.
up
Another
at this
10
point.
minutes we'll be done.
Yeah.
Tell him 10.
I mean, he can come inside and tell him to chill with the cats or something.
Go pet the cats. Yeah, so it's 2:30 in the morning. We're somewhere in, I don't know where we were, Pennsylvania or something like that. And we stopped to get gas. And there's just a grumpy ass old man. And he's like, the pumps don't work. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, whatever. So we try the pumps and the pumps don't work. So like, all right, we find the next gas station. So we go 2-3 miles down the road and we pull into this sheet.
What was it called? The Sheetz?
It was a sheet.
Sheets are,
So
I love sheets.
they're good gas stations, but this place was fucking packed at
Oh, yeah.
2:30
So
in the
no one
morning.
had power, right?
Dude, we walked in. Well, we pulled in, and there were guys in off-road rigs. They were like, "We'll give that a 10 out of 10." Like
They
when
had
we pulled
PA
in, so they're
systems.
talking over the PA system, and then we pull in, and we get out of the truck, and there's people yelling and like all this other shit. And I'm walking in, and there's an employee and somebody else outside. And like, be careful, this couple's asking for money. So we walk in, and I was like, "Is it this busy all the time?" And she's like, "No, every single town around us lost power, so we're the only functioning gas station right now." So every crackhead was at this gas station, dude. Lot lizards everywhere.
My-
Brian's got videos of lot lizards and the checkered print tops,
Dude,
just
that
screaming at
place was
guys,
so-
dude. It was
Adrian,
wild.
I was sleeping in the back at this point, so I was like,
Oh.
all right, next stop, I'll go in the front. Adrian's like, give me my pillow. Give him his pillow. He's like, where's my pillowcase? He's like tweaking out. We're like, I don't see your pillowcase. There's my 2 pillows, Andy's pillow, and Adrian's, and you don't have a pillowcase. You must have lost it. And then he's like, well, there's about to be a fight. So I thought he was talking to me, but look
It was
over, and there's
the
a
lot
lot
lizard.
lizard screaming at a guy. Like, she gets out, she's like in a bikini. It's not even that warm out.
Yeah, because you
It's
guys are up
3
in the north
morning.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
we're in
getting pretty
PA.
close, yeah.
She's screaming, and then I guess someone said something to her, some guy, because what girls 3 in the morning in a bikini at a gas
truck
station?
stop. Like,
So we're all uncomfortable, mind you. And then all
I'm
of a sudden
not.
Brian doesn't care about anything.
I'm
But
into
like
this,
Adrian and I are like uncomfortable, dude. I've been in situations like that before. I've been robbed, I've been shot at, like the whole 9 yards. So like when it gets to people being sketchy, I want to get the fuck
you're
away.
like, dude, it might pop
So
off.
we're like, all right, cool. I want to get away from the gas
Brian
pump.
wants to instigate.
So we
it.
leave the gas pump, and
Whoa.
as soon as we're pulling out, Yuki calls, and he's like, "Oh, we're 5 minutes away." So then I pull over by the tractor trailers, and we're just watching shit escalate, waiting for Yuki, and waiting for Yuki. And I'm like, dude, I'm getting mad anxious. I want to get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here
Yeah.
before somebody gets shot. He pulled in, we're fine. So then we continued on the journey, and that was pretty much it.
Overall, sounds like a like a solid 8 out of 10 at least trip. You know?
Yeah,
Sounds
I mean,
eventful.
Yeah.
It's
It was
missing some of the members, Justin,
Yeah.
Eric, Matt. Like if we had the full squad and
great. Next
bunch of
year
other
we're trying to
people
do it again.
I think
Yeah,
having
if you're realistically planning to go next year, I need to know like
let's start
Yeah,
now.
we're realistically
Everyone that's listening, we
planning.
need to start now. Airbnbs included, especially. I'll stay
Yeah.
at a La Quinta if I have to. I don't want to listen to Joao snore anymore.
oh dude, that's brutal.
That's why I bring earplugs, dude.
Jake
That's
break.
why I bring earplugs.
the Jake.
Love you,
break.
Joao.
So the first night I shared a bed with Little Man. Second night I shared one with Brad. There was times are tough. We were out of spots.
I mean, five beds, 2 dudes a bed.
I brought my own air mattress,
you
queen
still-
size air mattress, dude. I was
Yeah.
good. I was good.
Surprised you and Sleepy didn't bunk. It's usually
No,
the duo.
what did he? Oh, he bought an air mattress. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
like
think
an-
that wraps it up.
Yeah, sounds like an eventful trip, boys. Thanks for
yeah,
coming on,
sick
giving us
trip
the
until
update.
next year.
Yeah, well, a year from now we'll be doing a Midpond Part 2.
Yeah,
and,
Mid-Pond version 2.
Facts.
and you
no,
know,
we'll be doing a podcast in
At
Midpond.
Absolutely,
Hell yeah.
yo.
Set up
Absolutely.
on the deck, dude.
Hey,
Dude, that would be
that
legendary.
it's gonna happen. That's why we got the old portable set. So
Yeah.
We'll
Just bring simple handheld mics so you can do it like
no, we'll just like take these
yeah,
without the stand.
yeah, dude.
they're going to get covered in dirt.
Dude, we're
Just
ready.
get a shitty mic.
We're ready for this.
It's a lot of dirt there.
I was just like all dusty.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's like fine dirt. You rode down
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
so you
it's
know,
the
and it's
same
like
kind of
that
dirt as that
golden.
pump track, but it was dry,
Ooh.
so it was mad dusty.
Yep.
It's like that clay stuff. Like it's almost got like
It was like as dusty as Final Bout was.
Yep.
Make
I
it
was just
D,
gonna say
make
that
it
was
D1
insane.
style and yell into a mic. Oh yeah.
Get Yuki.
Yeah, hopefully next time we're all more prepared and nobody's car breaks because it's so fun to
Yeah.
drive there.
yeah. You know, I'm excited for next year.
Super good track.
You guys got me amped up.
It's good from both sides. So media and drivers. Like it's a totally different
Yeah.
spectrum from what we're used to.
Yeah.
So like going out there and having new places to shoot and like new stuff to use. It's
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
It's
Sounds like a
unreal.
playground.
It
Yeah,
is.
for sure. Especially when you rent it. They're super relaxed about it.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Sounds,
Yeah, I feel like renting anywhere is like you get the best experience overall.
It's the
really.
best
Yeah.
bang for your buck.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just like Lock City. Anybody that's driving C Group, go to a clinic, dude. Go to a clinic.
Yeah.
You go to a clinic, you get ultimate seat time, and then people know, okay, this guy's different than every other C Group driver because I've watched him with 5 other people.
facts.
You know,
Yep.
Pay it out of the way. Buy once, cry once. Just get it done.
Good words of wisdom to end it on.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right. Thanks, everybody. This is a nice little change up from what we're used to. You know, we'll do a little bit more of this in the future for events, you know, other people, groups coming on. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, let us know what you think. Give us the little 5-star on Spotify. Give us the subscribe on YouTube. And check out Mr. Bryan. What's the Instagram handle?
Speed Racer Bry.
Andy, what's the Instagram
Is
handle?
there an underscore?
Andy
Yeah.
underscore LENNZ. Andy Lenz.
So, you know, with the Andy, you catch a lot of that nice cinematography, photography of all the local drift events and anything that the Cookout Homies got going on. So, you know,
yeah.
thanks for joining us. Everybody enjoy your nights. Give us the reviews, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, boys.
Bye.
SR20 best engine.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. God's motor.